Welcome to Lifestyle Solopreneur, the community for entrepreneurs who put lifestyle first. Join your host Flavia Barris as she interviews successful lifestyle solopreneurs and shares ideas to help you find the perfect balance between lifestyle, business, and self. Flavia is an attorney, marketing expert, and founder of several online academies. She's been featured in major media including BBC World News, The Wall Street Journal, The New York Post, ESPN Television, and more. Join us for this episode of Lifestyle Solopreneur. Hey, Lifestyle Solopreneurs. Today we get to speak with Tristan Wright. He is the founder and CEO of Evolve to Grow. Evolve to Grow is a business consulting company that helps entrepreneurs figure out how to have more time and freedom for themselves, as well as find ways to grow their business. They provide one-on-one coaching, a business evolution circle, and business diagnostics. You can read more about his story at evolvetogrow.com.au. Welcome to the show, Tristan.
Thank you very much for having me.
It's fabulous to have you on here from the other side of the planet. That's why I love just technology and where we are in the world today, because I can have a fantastic conversation with someone who is currently in Australia when I'm sitting here in California. You're finishing up your summer. I'm just about to go into my summer. And I just think that's a fabulous thing in today's world.
It's amazing. And if there's one positive out of the pandemic, it's allowed us to connect a lot more with people all over the world because it's become normal to have conversations online.
For sure. And I think it helps us to spread ideas and to share things too. Tell us a little bit about Evolve to Grow. So what is the genesis for that company and what's your involvement?
So basically the purpose of Evolve to Grow is to help you better your business so that you can better your life. And what I mean by that is so many business owners focus on business and they forget that often the reason that they got into business was to escape the hustle and to control their life and spend time with family and friends. But they get stuck in the grind and spend too much time in business as opposed to enjoying their life and their lifestyle opportunities that they could have. And the reason I got into that was with my previous business. I had a sportswear business and I had some really high highs and some really low lows. So I had a roller coaster ride with that business. And after selling the business, I realized that there was an opportunity to help others to, I guess, level out that roller coaster so they didn't have the lows, continue to have the highs, of course, but didn't have as many lows and enjoy their business a lot more.
So what are some of these lows that you see? Because you work with a lot of entrepreneurs. Is there sort of a common element to what these lows look like for people?
Good question. So lows can be feeling lonely through to feeling like you're a lone wolf to an extent, through to not having experience doing what you're good at, whether it's marketing or whether it's sales, but being terrible at finance and then waking up and realizing that you're in debt and you can't actually run your business and then stressing out about that and having anxiety about that.
Well, the anxiety and the stress, that's interesting because I do find that is sort of a common theme among entrepreneurs when they feel that they're struggling, because there's also that fear of failure, but then also not just the fear of future failure. I think a lot of entrepreneurs look in the mirror and feel like, until I've reached this milestone that I arbitrarily sort of set for myself at the beginning of this venture, I feel like a failure because I'm not there yet, or I'm not there fast enough, or I'm not how I thought it would look when I first started. So it's a mental game. Entrepreneurship really is, I would say, like 90% mental and like 10% what you're actually doing. Do you agree with that, or do you see it differently?
100%. You need to actually understand who you are and what makes you tick. And a big thing is not many people actually care or think about what you do as much as you do. So we put a lot of external pressure on us, and in reality, that pressure doesn't actually exist. So when we realize this, that the world is actually going to continue rotating without us, and we put so much pressure on ourselves that doesn't really exist. Once we realize this, business and life becomes so much easier.
And so what is this business evolution circle? Because I know that is one of the concepts that Evolve to Grow coaches on or teaches on. Tell us a little bit about what that means.
So Business Evolution Circle is my group coaching program. And more specifically, the reason why I've got this business evolution circle is because it is often very lonely in business. And so many business owners don't have someone to share their ideas with because they can't talk to their staff. So having a network of people that you can communicate with that are at a similar level to you makes a massive difference. And I've got a framework that I use, and it's called the Business Ecosystem Framework, which forms the foundation of how this program is structured. And at the very center of it is fulfillment. So many of us we don't actually know why we're getting into business. And if we don't know why we're getting into business, we're never actually going to be truly fulfilled. And we're going to get this anxiety. We're going to get this stress. We're going to question ourselves, why aren't we progressing at the rate that we want to progress?
Well, asking all of those questions, it's pretty natural, I think. Why am I at the stage I'm at? Why haven't I progressed further? I mean, I see a lot of entrepreneurs struggle with that. I think we all do. I think I do myself. What are some of the sort of solutions or ways to overcome that thinking?
So it all starts with the ultimate objective and having clarity on that. And what I mean by that is we need to draw a line in the sand, whether it's 1 year, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, 50 years into the future. We need to draw a line in the sand and understand what it is that we want to achieve on a business level and on a personal level. So consider where we've got a retirement party for business. What is it that we want people talking about us, saying about us at this retirement party? Let's say we're having a party in our 60s about what we've achieved in life, and we're talking about what we've achieved in life and what we're happy about. What is it that we want to have achieved personally? And once we've got alignment with that business and personal level, we can actually create a strategy for how to achieve those things. Having this alignment and strategy allows us to have a positive mindset to achieve this. And then once we've got these three things, the mindset, alignment, and strategy all together, we actually have clarity on the direction that we're going to head in.
And what are some easy sort of ways to make shifts for some, a lot of your clients, they come in and they're struggling, they've got a long ways to go, but sometimes there's kind of that low hanging fruit, like those first few steps that if you can do those, the rest of it kind of becomes easier, right? And it may be, I don't know, as easy as like taking off the heavy backpack and then the rest of your trip is lighter on your feet. So sometimes maybe it's something you can do at the very start of a journey where it's going to really pay some dividends as you progress further. What are some of those like easy ones that usually you have people do in the first 1 or 2 weeks that they work with you?
So from a mindset perspective, it's actually understanding that Rome wasn't built in a day and accepting that as long as we're making progress is good and we're heading towards where we want to get to. But it's the biggest thing is spending time on what actually makes us tick. And if we can create or understand what makes us tick and where we want to get to, we can even draw a line in the sand. What is it that we want to achieve in 3 months' time? And then we start working towards that, because we know that if we get towards our 3-month goal, we're going to have greater clarity or vision on where we want to be in a year's time. So it's having the ability to think big picture, but then go into short term and then just focus on the next 3 months, which will then allow us to progress and move forward. And understanding that if we're making strides towards our 3-month goal, we're going to gain clarity over time of where we actually want to get to, which is going to allow us to gain that freedom and to start getting results, which will lead to our fulfillment.
And for you in your own journey, like where are you currently in this? Because I know it's a constant journey, right? Like we're never done. We're never like, oh, I'm a finished product. I'm complete, right? There's always more to do, more ways to evolve, more ways to grow. So where are you in your journey and what are your big goals for the next few years?
That's a really, really good question. So, and I'll be honest, I'm really, really good at helping others and getting them on their journey. But whether I'm just critiquing myself too harshly or not, I often feel like I don't have enough clarity on where I'm going. But for me, where I want to get to is to have time freedom. And what I mean by that is that when I wake up in the morning, most days I can pick and choose what I want to do without having the pressure and without having the stress of having to make $1. So that allows me to then have greater impact on the people around me. So where I'm in the journey, if we look at it from a numbers perspective. I've got the stability there to start, for income-wise, to start building my wealth out where I'm getting other income streams, and having other income streams then allows me to reduce trading time for money, which then gets me closer to that time freedom objective that I'm heading towards.
And time freedom is kind of an interesting thing because I've recently spoken to a lot of people who are newly retired, right? They either a pension or they've just saved for their retirement. And now they no longer have to do any work. They don't have an occupation. So their calendar is completely their own. And the funny thing is, I would say in like the majority of people that I talk to who've just hit this milestone, they're almost like deer in the headlights. Like they don't know what to do with their free time and time freedom, right? It's almost like this goal that they've had for so long. And then once they reach there, maybe they didn't spend enough time actually planning for what they will do with their free time once they achieve it. And then there's sort of like a scramble to figure out, well, what are my hobbies and what do I want to do? So I'm a big fan of spending as much time during your working years developing hobbies and interests and things so that when you do have a ton of extra time, you're like so excited to fill it with all these things that you love to do already. What do you like to do in your free time? And what do you think you envision yourself doing once you've achieved time freedom?
So at the end of the day, there's no tomorrow. There's only ever today. So we actually have to live life and enjoy it now. So there's no point holding off on these simple pleasures, because once we get to the top of one mountain, we're going to have another mountain to climb. So we need to always be making sure we spend time on our hobbies. And I spend equal amount of time with my family as my hobbies as my business. So I have goals outside of business. I run marathons. I do a lot of riding. I spend time with family and friends. I travel. And this keeps me occupied and helps reduce the stress and anxiety because I don't have that single-minded focus on just one thing. And it allows me to separate me from the business. So if there's ever issues with the business, my identity is not just entwined and wrapped into the business. I've got my family identity. I've got my sporting identity as well. So that just allows me to be a more rounded and fulfilled person.
And so for people that want to learn more about Evolve to Grow, and you say you write, I don't know if you have any books in the works or anything as well, but how do people connect with you and follow you and learn from you?
So the simplest way is to jump online and search for me on LinkedIn or Facebook. So whether it's using my name, Tristan Wright, or Evolve to Grow, a lot of the time, like I don't have books, but every week I'm writing an article just that is focused on helping others, whether it's gaining clarity in their business, whether it's helping them grow their business from a branding or sales or marketing perspective, or simplifying their business from a people or systems and a money perspective. With the people that I meet, people that I coach, I learn so much, and I just want to share that knowledge. So all the regular social channels, searching for Tristan Wright or Evolve to Grow.
I hope everyone who's listening to this episode does reach out to you. You're a phenomenal mentor. You've got a lot to offer. I know your writing has helped a lot of people, and as well as your programs. So please reach out to Tristan Wright. Again, he's at evolvetoggrow.com.au. Coming to us from Australia. Tristan, it's been such a pleasure to have you on the show.
Thank you very much for having me.
Guess what, lifestyle solopreneurs? If you don't yet have an online business earning you enough passive income to live the life of your dreams, I'd like to suggest you consider trying out Kajabi. Kajabi is an all-in-one solution where you can create and teach online courses, publish a paid newsletter, launch a free or paid podcast, process payments, build one-on-one coaching portals for your clients, and much, much more. I personally use Kajabi to power numerous successful and profitable online businesses. Lifestyle solopreneurs, there's a free trial of Kajabi waiting for you at this link, www.kfreetrial.com. You can try Kajabi for free, no obligation, by going to www.kfreetrial.com. Again, kfreetrial.com, and that K stands for Kajabi. Starting an online business helped me break free from that corporate grind, and I hope it does the same for you. You have nothing to lose and absolutely everything to gain. Thanks so much for tuning in today. Don't forget to subscribe to the show, and see you next time.